Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Darkborne Plus. Unfortunately, I don't know what's going on with Twitch, but at least we're on Periscope for sure, and we're on YouTube as well. So I'm hoping that Twitch and Facebook get its stuff together because for some reason it's just not wanting to stream there. But luckily, it's not my computer. All right, so we'll be starting the stream in a couple of minutes, and we'll see you at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the recap edition of Flights of the Legacy. So we can recap not just where we left off when my computer decided to take a dump, but also cover a little bit of episode 4, all the stuff that you missed, because there was quite a bit that happened. Unfortunately, technical difficulties, but we'll see you at 7 p.m. and we'll get that recap going. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Darkborne Plus. And let me go ahead and lower this here. We're going to hide the Spotify. But again, welcome to another Darkborne Plus. We are doing today a very special episode of Dungeons and Dumbasses: Flights of the Legacy, a D&D MTG crossover homebrew campaign. And the person you have to thank for that, and I'm going to go ahead and open up the audio so you can hear them. The person you can hear for that, thanks for that, is Arden, who
Yo,
is our DM, also the snow leopard that you see on the screen. I know you're
hey,
probably asking yourselves, who's the silhouette? Who is that empty space on the screen? Well, let me tell you, I ain't telling you. But we also have Disdorius on with us,
Hi.
and we also have Naia with us as well. So for now,
hello.
right now, before we go into the bigger thing, Arden and I are going to go, basically Desi. Desi and Arden are going to go ahead and recap from episode 4, all the way from episode 4. Wait, hold on. Let me get to the where we last left off. Um, and yeah, I need to see also what happened to your stream. No, for some reason the little pop-up is not showing. Where is it? I have to click on it. Okay. All right,
Do,
let me.
do
Oh,
I
hold.
play the sad trombones? Because
I
I
would
will.
hold. You know what? Yeah, go ahead and play the sad trombone. I want to see if it reacts. Yep, it
I
showed
heard
up.
that.
Yeah, it showed up on the screen. Okay. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and start. Oh my God, there's so much to cover. Um. Oh no, it goes even further. Okay. Wow. We have to go through Ganesh's notes
Mhm.
as well. Um. Okay. So really
Mhm.
quick to recap the broken stream that was um last stream, which was episode 4. This is episode 4.5 because, when we do special episodes on this channel, it's always a half episode. It's only a half step. So, what you saw, and I'm just going to go over the little tidbits so that Arden knows where to pick up from. What showed up on stream was that we fought these I'm going to house and force, glass bottles found, trip trap, scarecrows burn, Proserpia it gets used as a flamethrower, um, basically gnome crossbow flame blaster, as Arden put it. Let's see here. Ganesh charges through the door, slides with the scimitar, gets blocked, gets stabbed with 2 spears in the back, and Desi charges. No, before that, he somehow magically talks to a bug, and the bug describes a room that has a trapdoor. Everything we then fight the scarecrows, burn them alive with flamethrower Proserpia, and
Make comments about a deep hole in the process.
we
Oh yeah.
make we start talking about this deep hole as basically um, as one should, as a Leonin that just can't resist doing innuendo jokes. Basically, and asks just so basically Desi asks Disdorius how deep is her hole, because hey, it's a mine hole and it belongs to the villain.
And Distorius, yeah.
And Disdorius really loudly says, "Oh, it's really deep." Um,
How
and
deep is that hole?
yeah,
It's
how deep
very
it? It's
deep.
very deep. And then some sort of creature gets off because we were so loud, and we didn't care because we're just that kind of a party.
Till
Um,
we got down there and
Till we got
realized what
down
it
there.
was.
Then we ended up. Then it goes into Ganesh charges through the door, slides with the scimitar, gets blocked, gets stabbed with 2 spears in the back. Desi charges in with the roar, scares the monster, which runs through the door, which takes a hit from Ganesh. The other the other is scared out of his wits and stabs two spears, Ganesh collapses. Proserpia hops off of Desi, slides to the floor, shoots through the door, and Disdorius through the door and Disdorius, and hits Karg in the leg with an onyx bolt. Naia charges in with righteous "Don't forget about me" and forgets to heal Ganesh. Desi looks at his lover. Hold on. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Hold on. Yes, you did. You did not heal Ganesh. I did that. So Desi looks at his lover with a look of not disgust. It was more of disappointment. Like just and fingers pointing down at Ganesh, like and beckons back Ganesh from the light, literally. So that Desi did that. Yeah, Desi was the healer. While Naia was focused on preventative healing.
Your audio went.
Your audio went out.
Oh, my audio went out.
Yep.
Well, it was showing on the stream.
Hello.
I'm here.
Yep.
Okay. Then let's see. Karg smashes the little thing. Everyone heals. Naia guesses on Underdark puzzle, which opens to Martha Stewart's kitchen. Disdorius gets sparkles in his eyes and grabs.
In my defense, it was 50-50, and I think I might have chosen the right one.
Yeah, you actually did. I found out what the other one was. You did pick the right one.
Actually, you just picked Flavor of Horrible. The
it was.
The DM was rushed for time and had to skip that encounter.
Yeah, we didn't get the encounter, but we did get the really pretty one compared to the other one. Anyways, so let's get back to this. So, and yes, Naia was. It was like Desi was very disappointed that Naia was forgetting about Ganesh, who was unconscious on the floor. So yes, Desi did the healing. Desi also did first aid on Karg's leg, pulling out all the pieces of the onyx, shattering the bolt that was. Yeah. So Desi also saved Karg. Let's see here. Disdorius gets sparkles in his eyes and grabs at the filigree armor. Desi puts his paw on his face and whispers, "Scarecrows, dumbass." What? Oh yeah. That's right. I was like, wait, don't go. Remember the scarecrows. After tiptoeing in, we realize our judgment calls were still 0 for 10 and loot the fuck out of the homely room. We did. And mind you,
we did loot the fuck out of that
room. Did loot the fuck out of that room.
Yeah.
No, I'm here. I'm still here. You guys can't hear me, but I'm here.
Okay. Your headset's doing the.
No, my headset's fine because I'm on stream. It's showing that I'm on stream. So that must be a Discord thing.
Yep.
So okay. So anyway, by the way, can I get a happy crowd for that looting of the room? That's perfect. Yeah. All right. So we
and there was much rejoicing.
Well, we also find out. We also find out that armor that we looted was about. We also found out that armor was pretty just useless and just.
It was just shit.
It was just ornamental. It was just for show. Then here we go. We hear some fighting through the door, and the sus woman in black stabs. No. We're skipping a part here.
Skip.
No, we have. Okay, so Disdorius finds. What was it? The lance or the javelin of warning?
The javelin of warning.
I warned you. And so we have, because it was, we didn't know it was busted. We just knew that it was a javelin of warning. So we're like, put it against the door since we're hearing loud noises. And it goes, it literally it shrugged at us and said, "Something's going on. You've been warned." And so we just decide to go through. We hear some fighting through the door, and the sus woman in black stabs Marin's song, collects the essence of a god, wants to escape from trap for planeswalkers, and pieces the fuck out. Now, mind you.
Okay, can we pause?
Wait.
At this point is when I want to fill in holes.
Oh, wait, hold on. You will fill in this hole in just a moment. This villain
fucking
is one of the worst villains I've ever encountered. She did an entire villain's monologue without even introducing herself. She just went straight into, I'm bad, fuck you all, peace out. But no, go ahead, fill in the holes.
All right. So, what the listeners are caught up on, even though his notes are just so broken. They were in there. They went in. They got blocked by a wall of wind, and she didn't steal the essence of a god. She stole a piece of a god's domain from Eric Marensong, while holding off the team with a wall of wind, and summoning two big old fuck off ogres, and having her hellhounds there to guard and hold down the
Yep.
poor bard. Nobody paid attention to.
Wait, say that again?
The poor bard who nobody paid attention to and got suckered into being pulled out of this because he wasn't protected well enough.
Look, Naia and Desi were kind of busy with an orc and a dancing girl. So it's not like we really got to meet him. We were kind of busy in the other room.
Yes, quite
But-
busy.
And we left the
That's what
newbies.
we'll call it.
We left the new players to kind of have their own RP session. But anyways, go on.
Yeah. What happened in that room is an entirely other RP session that will probably never get role played.
It will never.
It's just going to be
roleplayed.
assumed. It's just assumed.
Yeah.
By the way,
So
for
every-
anyone that thinks that okay, I heard the funniest thing yesterday from one of Arden's friends from his other D&D group.
We were
that we
were
somehow
recapping another group
Yeah.
of friends of mine on this.
and we will somehow mention that we were apparently having a sex venture. No, we are not having a sex venture. There just happens to be implied sexual situations.
And her girlfriend chimed in. That is the best thing to hear.
The word
Pay
sex
attention to
venture.
your
Yeah.
phone.
Wait, and that's the moment when she like looks at the phone, she looks at her phone, the word sex venture. But anyways, going
So-
back to Flights of the Legacy recap.
I think this is the part where I can chime in and catch the
Well,
listeners up.
hold on. There's still a little bit more. And by the way, as for these notes, you can blame Ganesh for these. Okay, I'm just reading what Ganesh wrote. The hellhounds vanish, and some ogres remain. Violet tendrils grip the ogres, making them much more easy to see. Proposed rule number 2: no crit fails on
Very
saving throws.
fire.
Yeah. Okay, that was Naia. Thanks to Naia. Ganesh, hesitating with indecision, holds back and stuffs a ruined blowgun dart in his trunk. Oh yeah, the darts. Okay,
I remember that.
they had draconic. So there was these ruined darts with draconic on them, and of course nobody in our party speaks draconic. So, you know. So the Ganesh, hesitating with indecision, holds back and then stuffs a ruined blowgun dart in his trunk. The dart has the inertia of a boulder and might grant kickback. Proposed rule number 3: drinking a potion can be used instead of movement. We save Eric Marensong from the shadow ogres. Okay, now DM, you can pick up from the notes there.
Okay, let me get my loot.
Yeah.
Start up the campfire.
You need to make it a little louder.
It's gonna get louder.
Okay. I'm gonna have to bring it up. Oh, there's a horse in there.
Mm-hmm.
I just heard it.
Gather around, folks, as I retell the continued story of Operation Fool's Hope, aka Dungeons and Dumbasses.
Flights of the Legacy.
The party had just saved the hero, the now de-heroed Eric Marensong, and took a chance to rest. All whilst outside of the cavern that they were resting in, dark rumbles could be heard. And as soon as the rumble started to be heard, they decided they took the chance to promptly leave said cabin, carrying the crippled bard outside in the hands of a hot orc daddy.
No.
Unfortunately,
No, that's wrong. That's wrong. I actually, Desi was the one that carried him out. Much to the jealousy, of the hot orc daddy, Karg. But I digress. Let's go back into it.
unfortunately, having failed in their quest to save the champion from being protecting the champion essentially, they stepped outside into the world of mist and in the middle of a devastation event as a meteorite came and slammed itself right next to, a good fair bit away, but still practically right next to the Drunk Dragon Inn and its surrounding township, causing the equivalent of a magical nuclear explosion. In this state of magic warping its way to the team, Naia, in her inner, as we're dubbing it now, the Avatar state, jumped in the way to save the party. Unfortunately for one Disdorius, who got hit by the bright light. And we will get to what happened from that. And
Should say
Pretty-
that this time in that state that silvery spectral wings
Well-
sprung.
Well, what I would like to suggest for our DM to hold just one moment and have, since we have Naia here, Naia is really good at explaining what the shit that happens to Naia. Would you please describe to the listeners what happened when Naia awoke in her quote unquote avatar state?
Quote unquote avatar state. In the sensing the impending danger, something within her triggered, and her eyes began to glow with a silvery moonlight. She leapt in front of the party, and from her back sprung silvery spectral wings that spread to shield them from the rain of fire that approached. Regrettably, Disdorius was too far away, and her wings could not reach that far.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
And they weathered the storm of fire, although it did leave her horrendously weakened.
All right. So now we're gonna stop right there, and now, Arden or Disdorius, please describe what happened to Disdorius since he was not protected by the silvery. Basically, the Sailor Moon version of Drow Jesus wings.
Do you want me to go ahead and explain?
if you wish. First
So-
person perspective.
So Disdorius, when he came outside, and he was not standing next to the rest of the party, he was sort of looking around, and that's when he realized that, he saw a bright flash of light, and then it was almost like his life flashed before his eyes, and he wasn't there anymore. He wasn't him anymore. And then past that, is anyone's guess.
I love how the music kicked up.
Yeah, it finally kicked up. Okay, so I'm gonna. Yeah.
I'll let Arden go from there. 'Cause
Okay, so
if I say any more, I'll spoil stuff.
No, you're good because this is the part where we
So
spoil
the
it.
existence that was once Disdorius
Mm-hmm.
got changed.
Perfect timing.
He was no longer a foul-mouthed, drunk, surprisingly quiet for a foul-mouthed, drunk dwarf who slept with a lot of things. And
I love how
in
the
his-
music got so dramatic.
I
as soon as
know!
we're
This is
talking about his
perfect! Keep
death.
going! Keep
I'm
going, because this is
sorry.
perfect music! Yeah.
So-
Go on, no, go on. It's super dramatic now. I
and
love
in
it.
his place, you were not left alone.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, there was a giant, green, somehow angrier orc.
About 8'5" of anger. Everyone, we would like to reveal to you Orok.
Orok Breath, who,
Yeah.
from his perspective, just stepped out in the exact same cabin with the exact same friends,
Mm-hmm.
and pretty much was like, "Huh, that light was nothing."
Okay, we're gonna
Everybody
stop right
else,
there
on
for a
the other
second.
hand-
Hold on. We're gonna stop right there for just a second. I'm gonna go ahead and now that we've introduced Orok, I'm gonna go ahead and open up the screen so
I'm
everybody
gonna-
can now see the frame that we're at now. So, welcome to the new flight of the new Dungeons and Dumbasses streaming system. We'll explain everything else later, but we're gonna continue on with the recap. But as you can see, this is what every character looks like close up.
At least as done by Hero Forge.
Yeah, the Hero Forge version. Until we can get like really good art of all the characters, we'll then do it. But for now, minifig wise, here you go. Now back to the really dramatic change to Orok.
So, Orok didn't have much of a change from his perspective. Everybody else, however, immediately got taken aback that there was a big old orc there. And
Tried to attack me.
It took the party literally
one lion daddy
a minute.
decided to give his boyfriend the bard
Yeah.
and then threaten this new party member.
Which was not the way to go about it.
Well, okay. Okay. Go on. No, go on, and then I'll explain Desi's mindset.
Who seemed to have replaced his friend. Now you can go.
Okay, in Desi's mind, when the flash happened, and all of a sudden there's an orc there, basically Desi thought that this orc murdered Disdorius.
Oh, I get it.
So it literally took the party about a minute. Look, the party was basically the entire party was deciding whether to murder the new guy or deal with the fact that the apocalypse happened behind them. It literally took them about a couple minutes to decide what's the bigger problem. Like, what should we deal with first? And of course,
Every
also-
time that they brought up Disdorius, like literally Orok is like,
What the fuck?
"Who
No.
the hell are you talking about?"
yeah, and literally Orok.
I do not know no dwarf.
Yeah, really. And so Orok, see, this is the thing though. What's even more messed up is that Disdorius's memories are in Orok, and Orok's memories are in Disdorius. So they think everything is fine and that we have amnesia. That this flash of light just gave us amnesia. And
Somewhere in another timeline.
yeah.
Another place.
Now, mind you, what happened is literally they got swapped because that the flash of light basically broke reality. It swapped Orok and Disdorius to opposite parallel timelines.
And let me just tell you, people, we got off easy compared to what happened to the NPCs.
my gosh!
Oh yeah.
It was
So,
bad.
in
Yeah.
the midst of nearly deciding to murder this person, the party got an up-close look at the bottom of the legacy as it zoomed over their heads towards the Drunk Dragon Inn.
You're not going to mention that the house turned into rotting flesh,
Ew.
or
I
that
do remember that.
or that the trees were on fire but not burning.
I was getting to that.
Oh, okay. All right.
Thanks. The magical quote-unquote explosion that racked the whole place See, now I can't say it. You ruined it.
Sorry, go on. This is a recap. It's fine. Go ahead. Keep going.
So, it was the equivalent of a mana explosion. Mana explosions aren't normal explosions. They don't just burn things. They warp things. Age them, de-age them. Like, it would be the same example as if Arden decided to grab someone and planeswalk them to a place without the shielding of the legacy. They would not survive the process. Not a lot of people do. Considering this is a very localized version of what that would do, the trees around the place were either overgrown, turned into something completely different, alive and screaming, on fire while not burning. The ground was ice, and the cabin itself was a meat cabin.
And rotting. It was rotting.
And there's the horse. As we're talking about rotting and meat cap.
Yes, chill, Brutus. We're good.
Yeah.
Anyway,
But by the way,
the horse is now named
Naia,
Brutus. Don't
Naia,
ask.
you can unmute yourself. This is the part where we can all participate.
Naia, you
Naia,
can unmute.
you can unmute yourself.
Okay.
You're allowed to participate in this part of the recap. I was just waiting for after Orok's introduction.
Okey-doke.
And thankfully, with the party now deciding, after Orok made a mention of, oh, there he finally is, they pretty much figured that some shenanigans is going on and leave him alive.
Yeah.
For now.
Oh, he knows who you know.
He knew who Arden was, so.
Yeah.
Instantly, something's up.
What you doing, Arden?
Yeah.
Instead of what you doing, Willis.
Well, it really
Having
shocked
settled
us.
the matter only
Sorry.
momentarily after the legacy flies over the party's head, thus prompting cessation of hostilities as they went to finally have a chin wag with the artificer. They meet up with Arden, currently in the midst of studying the large shard of whatever that just crashed down and caused this mana explosion.
And Desi decides to join Arden to find out if this is a chunk of the sky or the dome that he was foretold in the prophecy that he wasn't able to explain to the rest of the party. So he was the only one that was privy to this. And being Therosian, they take prophecies very, very. Did I mention very? Very seriously.
Yeah, especially in Theros, because a prophecy caused an entire god to be born and killed.
Yeah. So yeah, we take these things very seriously. When someone utters the word prophecy, you know that it's important. But Arden does pretty much confirm and go on. Let me know when we get to the ship so I can explain what happened then.
Yeah, so Desi asks about the shard, Arden explains, yep, that's part of the sky, all right. Or at least what you would
Used to
define
be.
as the sky.
Yeah.
The thing with realities and not having set spatial differences. Yeah. They go into the legacy to pretty much heal up. Legacy actually lands itself so that they can get on board.
Mm-hmm.
After they send Karg to climb up the whole way. Thanks for that.
Hey, we needed to get Aaron out from this atmosphere, and we figured he would be safe in the ship. Karg didn't mind; it was exercise.
So as they get inside the legacy, the party gets a rundown of, this stuff is gonna get worse.
Oh
before
no!
It gets better.
Before that, right before, don't skip over the argument. Don't skip over the argument. So Desi has an argument in Leonin with Arden. So the only person that can really understand what he's saying is Arden. But Arden is replying back in common. So literally everybody else is getting a one-sided conversation versus growls and roars.
Because he was pressing while Arden was in the middle of explaining everything.
Well, no, Arden. But the thing is that Arden's way of explaining was so vague that it was frustrating Desi, and he was literally yelling at him to stop speaking in riddles like some sort of fucking Cheshire cat, and to just be blunt because Leonin have honor and are blunt, and they speak frankly and do not speak in riddles. And of course Arden was being frank and like he was being upfront, but it was just so vague that to Desi's ears it was riddles. And so that's when Arden decided, okay, fine, I'm gonna baby everyone and I'm gonna do this whole demonstration with marbles. And please proceed and explain the marble.
All right. So I'm actually gonna say this as in character. So I'm gonna tell the bard. Can you please lower the music, bard? Thank you, buddy. All right. So to explain the multiverse is really hard to do because you don't have the same perspective that I do. And so he takes out the marbles and lays them out onto a map. He starts with one. He holds it up. This is where Naia is from, the Forgotten Realms. And he lays it on the table. Pulls out another one. It's green. It's colorful. This would be Ganesh's world. And he puts it down. And all while there are other marbles just spinning around on the table, doing their own dances because he's using mana to pretty much replicate what the flow of the Blind Eternities is like. And he pulls out a third marble that's all gold colored, and he goes, and this is Theros. And he explains how they're currently in their pattern of being the equivalent of, what is it? What do they call it? Solar, the pattern of solar celestial bodies when they're going around an object. They're currently going around.
Orbiting.
Yeah, they're currently orbiting each other around what is where everybody currently is, the plane of Herois. And Arden said that Herois is unique because it is so full of mana and so jam-packed that bigger, more powerful entities would try and go after it if they saw it existing. Essentially. And the gods, in their infinite wisdom at some point in the past on this world, decided, hey, let's build us a system to make our world just that extra safe. You know, we're gonna lend specific champions that we feel embody our domains just perfectly. And then, to illustrate his point, he took that marble and made a shell around it, like a glass-like shell. And Arn said, because of that shell existing, nobody could even get to the plane normally, let alone see it in some capacity, because every planeswalker sees the Blind Eternities differently. But about a year ago, and he takes out his own claw, taps it into the shell, and the inside of the shell starts glowing and pouring out light from the point that he tapped. Somebody let loose the mana. And since then, there have been planeswalkers or something from outside trying to get to this plane. And for the past year, he taps again. Another thing opens up. And he keeps tapping. During this process, Desi said... That's also when Desi started getting even madder at Arden. And in Therosian, or in Leonin, yelled at Arden and says, get to the point.
He did.
And
Yes, Desi did. He just was like, would you just fucking get to the point? Because he was like, you're taking too long. Just say, this is the big bad. This is how you fix it. Like, it was just, yeah. But again, in Leonin.
Arden didn't respond to him with that
Yes,
one.
yes, he did.
No. He
Yes.
responded to after that when
after that.
What do you want us to do?
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Arden didn't respond to that one. He just kept tapping at the thing because that's what he's now saying, that this planeswalker who's alive is now doing this, and he's tapping faster and faster.
Yeah.
And with what she did to Eric Marin's song, he hits it hard enough that a big chunk bursts out of the glass, and he's like, and if she continues, he hits it hard enough, and not only does the one marble on the inside of that glass dome shatter, it shatters a good chunk of all the marbles that happen to be circling around it.
And that's when
And
yeah, that's when Desi asked, okay, well, what you want us to do about it? Like, but don't speak in riddles, just tell me exactly what you want us to do.
Arden in plain Therosian, because he's pissed. So
In
nobody
Leonin,
else
yeah,
gets,
the Leonin, yeah.
not in Leonin, common for Theros.
Oh yeah, common for Theros. So in Greek,
So
basically.
in Therosian, just straight up tells him, find a way to get her off the plane, you idiots.
And then it clicked to Desi that he was frustrating that he wasn't just the only one frustrated by this, but he could see the frustration in Arden's eyes that they're both trying to work together, and but because Leonin are very proud creatures, um he decided that he was going to apologize, but also thank him for allowing him to just get it off his chest. But he apologized for starting argument. But again, he didn't say it in common. He said it in Leonin. So literally more growls and roars, but like calmer and more like as a noble, basically, like in a very noble tone. Um,
And then, of course, Arden repeats himself in common for everyone. We need to get her off the plane. In other words, we're going to do either we're going to do what she wants or kill her.
so basically, Arden instructs everyone that we need to banish her. And that's when Desi again, but this time he said it in common. He said it in common, and he asks him, okay, how do we banish her? Who do we talk to? And this is when, once again, Arden's like, I already told you this, but sure, let me repeat it once again. And then he repeats who it is that we're supposed to talk to.
Well, more so, he's like, well, Arden doesn't know. He goes, I don't know.
Exactly.
Maybe a high enough powered mage or something. And that's when Eric Maronsong chimed in saying,
Chimed in, yeah.
the only mage powerful enough would be the champion of abjuration. A paranoid old motherfucker who is currently studying the effects of a portal to the elemental plane of air on a mountain range far from where they're currently standing, along with the champion of destruction.
Who's the only other person he trusts or
The only other
tolerates.
person-
Or tolerates,
only-
I mean.
The only person he tolerates, because the champion of destruction is the champion of destruction. One of the three fabled heroes to have saved the world from literal annihilation.
Quote unquote saved. Quote unquote saved.
I mean, it's their fault there was a whole
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
this plane in the first place.
That's what I'm
But,
saying. Quote unquote saved.
Yeah, that's what you get when you summon hell to the world, kids.
So, all right. So before we continue on to our adventures in the town, we're gonna go ahead and open it up to the floor. I want to hear Orok's perspective of what he heard, and then we're gonna hear
Well, I'm
Naia's
sitting here with my
perspective.
mic off the entire time, talking. Wow,
Oh no.
it's okay. No, I said just a moment ago that well, they're doing those heroes did a lot better than we are. At least
Yes.
they were able to.
Technically,
You know,
yeah. But
yeah, we're just smoking monkey kush and being a mess.
and
Not
now,
yet.
okay, now what was
That'll
Orok's
unfortunately
mindset
end up
during this?
happening.
Now what was Orok's mindset during that discussion? Did he understand what Arden explained?
To be honest, Orok wasn't really thinking about it. Orok's mindset was that he's not really thinking about it. He's instead just like, you know, this doesn't matter to me as long as I can,
Do what I need
fight.
to do. Yeah.
As long as I can fight, the harshest,
Yeah. Yeah.
beasts and go back home with glory, kind of thing. Like that's
Yeah.
all that matters.
Which we're going to get to.
Um,
I want to let everyone know that we are going to get to Orok's backstory because we finally have an episode where Dusty can actually make a backstory for one of his characters. We've done everybody else's. And we finally, which I'm so happy that we're able to do this, so we can have a backstory for Orok. Unfortunately, we weren't able to do that with Disdorius, which his backstory was interesting. His backstory was really interesting, but it's going to be really cool in a bit when we get to Orok's backstory. Now, Naia was weak in on basically Desi was holding her up. They were on the floor, kind of sitting.
Yeah.
And he was holding on to Karg as well. What I want the players to understand is that as proud as Leonin are, in a very Thorosian Leonin way, Desi declared his love for Naia and Karg, and essentially created his own pride on the ship with those two. He
I'm gonna
considers.
treat you like the Doctor treats Captain Jack Harkness from the future.
um,
Hello. Stop it.
and
I just said hello.
yeah, really. So okay, so basically, he isn't. Yes, so it is a fish. Now, mind you, okay, so in Desi's mind, he understands that only that Arden knows, but what he hasn't realized yet is that everybody else kind of sees that it's obvious that he is dating Naia and Karg. Like everybody knew Karg, but and he knows that everybody knows about Karg. It was the whole thing about Naia. He thinks he's being slick. Um, I'll talk about later on once we get to that point something that he says out loud that everybody hears, that he says in common, um, because it just slips. But yeah, right now on the ship, he has declared a relationship with both Naya and Karg. So, for those of you that don't know, Desi is bi and poly. Um,
And a
so
whore.
that was Disdorius,
No, I had sex with one person. I didn't have a three-way at the Drunk Dragon Inn.
four way. It was a
Four-way.
four way. It was a four way.
Four-way.
Look,
Your point,
we
but
were
still.
we were committing a religious act that was dictated by Illustrae, and he wanted a demonstration. And he happened to bring and he decided to bring Karg along for it,
It
So
was a situation of quite literally.
it was a holy fuck, yeah. No, it really was. We did have it was an actual religious rite. And what
Okay.
so no, that really did happen.
Yeah.
But it was
I told
but
you
it
guys
was a
that-
four way.
If that makes it.
Oh no! It's not a matter of justifying it. It's just that we did in that act also perform a holy act.
Yeah. I told you guys from the beginning that in the Illustrian faith that sex is quite literally a holy act.
Yeah. So, Naya was teaching Desi this holy act because but he was interested at that point. But anyways, so jumping forward, we're gonna go ahead and now continue on as the party decides to, well, not decides to, gets kicked off the ship by Eric Marensong because he's like, people screaming for help.
People screaming for help. I might be crippled, but I'm still a goddamn hero. Go out, save them.
Yeah. So at that point, Proserpia decides to borrow a mirror from the ship. So she takes with her Stamatia, while Arden takes Nicolau. Uh, I
Hold
forg-
up.
yeah,
Let me get the list up. I'll
yeah,
tell you which ones I took.
yeah. I know Nico was one of them.
uh, Nikolaus, Philippos, and I think it was Adriana.
Adriana, yeah.
Yeah. So he took 3 of the mirror, Ramses and Seer with him to
Wait,
go.
hold on. He said Arden said these names and chuffed, meaning in in snow leopard speak, that's pretty much like giddy in a giddy tone. Explain to us, Arden, why was Arden so giddy when he said the names?
Shut up, you.
Nope,
I will
say it.
not,
Nope, say
I
it.
will not acknowledge Arden's love for having names for all of mirror.
Say it. Say it. Why he's so happy? You know you
No.
wanna. Okay, fine, I'll say it. Arden was really thrilled that someone named the mirror, and he loved the names so much that he decided to use the names instead of calling that one, "Hey, you, number 4, number 7," like literally.
because because other than him, there's only uh correction.
There were
Arden is the
20 of
only
them.
one who so far who has given a mirror a name
Uh-huh, it
until
was
Desi
Ramses,
showed
yeah.
up.
Yeah. And the thing is that apparently Arden was so taken by Desi's love of the mirror, and the mirror not used to feeling not understanding why they're constantly hugged by Arden and Proserpia and other members of the party, why we love them so much. But hey, everybody, Arden is happy that we love the mirror so much as he does, that he decided to keep the names that Desi gave. And yes,
Because
Desi named all 20 of them.
artifact species. They were
Babies. Yeah.
born that way. That
Yeah.
is awesome.
Yeah.
And then
Um,
of course I can't name them because I'm fucking busy trying to save the multiverse. But you know what?
it's like, oh, my job's done for me to have names.
It's gonna suck when they have another one.
Okay, so we get to the so I'm just gonna read your notes on this. I'm not gonna get to the last part of those notes right before last week. So
Yeah.
we're just catching everybody up to basically this is still episode 4. So all we end up um rescuing after getting rescued and securing the Dragon Inn township. We did find the masonry, but shrunken. Um,
it was built
Proserpia
for
size.
small size category
Yeah.
people apparently.
Unfortunately, yeah. Unfortunately, when Proserpia went inside, she did find all her stuff, and also Oric's silvered axe. Unfortunately, the big buff human was turned into a robotic golem.
I'll get his name. One moment.
Yeah, something
Mason skill.
Bar Smith. Yeah,
Rebar
Rebar T
T.
Bar
Barra-Smith.
Smith. Yeah,
Now is an animate statue.
is an animate statue. Yeah, and unfortunately, when she was trying to get the axe from him, she kind of pulled his hand off. And but
Didn't
he's
stop him from constantly
but it
swinging his
but
hammer though.
he was just yeah, he was gone. He was gone. Um, but she did find everything. She got everything out. She was able to bring everything out, and we heard some speaking. But I'm gonna get to that in just a moment. But so Orok got, well, I guess Orok got back his silvered axe. Desi got a splint adamantine armor that was gifted to him. Well, not gifted, but purchased for him by Sugar Daddy Orc of Karg.
Which should normally be a red flag for most folks.
Yeah, but let's just put it this way. He is gonna pay back Karg. Um, but it was a nice little thing of saying, that Karg thought it would look really good on him because Karg bought it because he knew it would turn him on just watching watching Desi in this armor because it was a very important orc historical armor. Anyways, so that's the black armor you see him wearing. But okay, then Ganesh got a Hellstone scale mail.
which bypasses the number one hardened.
Yeah. Don't say the name. Just yeah.
Bypasses the druidic requirement for not wearing anything made of steel
hmm
because it's made of
It's made of stone. It's made out of stone. Hellstone,
evil hellstone, but stone nonetheless.
but still stone nonetheless. Yeah.
And it also
It inhabits the spirit of Harden, the half elf that smithed this piece for Ganesh. And
so the poor
Yeah.
half elf. First off, thanked Proserpia for getting him out of the small building, not realizing that he was a piece of armor.
Yeah.
And then when Ganesh put him on, no, what the hell are you doing?
The scales started moving and panicking. And that's when we found out. And then we, of course, had the unfortunate conversation that Naia wasn't too happy about because Desi was trying to be very blunt and honest. And Naia mistook that as like, oh, you're just speaking that this is just like slavery. And no, Desi was just pretty much saying, hey, you're literally.
Oh no, I'm a slave.
Yeah, it's like he was trying to be honest with him. He's like, don't worry, you're just equipment right now. We'll figure it out, but don't worry, you're equipment right now. And Naia didn't take that too well when she heard that.
She was not happy.
She was not happy with that. Okay. So then we're gonna fast forward a little bit. Reaching the Drunk Dragon Inn, they find Naia's follower. I forgot what his name is. Naia, what?
Inaris.
Inaris. So we find Inaris is somehow blessed with divine power as he has been following her tenant and help and no, I want to describe what happens regarding this baby.
Oh God.
So I want Arden to go ahead and describe the birth of this new child.
Alright. So, hearing from one of the panicked kobolds who never birthed a child before, coming down the stairs, help! Woman's in danger! She's birthing a baby!
Now,
Not laying eggs either! It's weird!
now, mind you, this is the same happy, loving couple that Desi met in the garden.
Yep. So they go on, they enter. There's an elf woman currently screaming her head off because there's a baby in tow with the and her husband, this spiky demon boy.
God, these sound effects.
These.
Go ahead.
And with Isilme and Inaris there, successfully gave birth to a small tiefling spiky baby. And it is the cutest thing ever, especially when it sneezes and shoots out all of its pins.
That was Desi. That was Desi when. Now, mind you.
Also,
can you because now that they can see Roll20, can you show them what what the baby's father looked like?
Oh, sure. Give me one sec. Doop.
The baby's father was a spine devil.
SPINEDEIBL.
Yeah. And
now,
mind you, this was not a normal tiefling baby. So there was none of that dark normal tiefling birth shit. They were really, this elf and this spine devil were really in love. And when Desi met them, Desi was trying to get Naia's attention because he had a feeling that she was ready to pop. But yeah, this is the baby's dad.
Literally.
Yeah.
And he couldn't be more proud.
Oh well, no. Didn't the baby breathe fire at some point?
I repeat, he couldn't be
Be
more
more
proud.
proud. Yeah. Ganesh also decided to collect the spines the baby shot out, all of them. So yeah, we have baby's first spines.
Aw.
Yeah.
Oh wait.
Oh, so cute. Yeah, so cute. Um, so yeah, and also by the way, this baby has was born as a wild magic sorcerer.
So, had the baby been birthed before the gigantic man-in explosion, it would have been just your average tiefling, born from a mortal and a devil. Nope. This kid got born in a man-in explosion. Hmm.
Yeah, in a wild magic zone.
Yep.
So baby got wild magic.
She's gonna grow up and be so fantastic. She's gonna make some god really happy.
Yeah.
Cough, cough. Oladamara more than likely.
All right, so now that we're finally ended where the stream unfortunately died in episode 4, we are now going to discuss what happened. Actually, it's going to be 8 o'clock. Let's go ahead and take a break right now.
Okay.
Let me put up the BRB, the new artwork of the BRB, now that we have Orok revealed. This is our new BRB art. And we shall be right back. Let me go ahead and start the music again.
So,
Sorry, we'll see you in about 10 minutes. Hello, everyone, and we're back. Before I bring everyone else in, let me go ahead and tell this to kind of be quiet. Let me hide the Spotify, and let's go ahead and find this. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and bring Arden, Naia, and Orok back. Did you all have a good
Hey.
break?
Uh,
Yeah.
All right, so where we last left off, we were at the Drunk Dragon Inn, and a baby tiefling was born.
Yep.
aw.
I was waiting for the aw.
Yeah, I was waiting for that too.
There we go. There we go. It was
There you
delayed,
go.
but it was there. Okay, I am satisfied. Um, really quick before we continue on, Arden, would you mind explaining the symbols to the right of each of our characters? What they are?
Okay, so considering that Magic the Gathering has a set coming out for Dungeons and Dragons, yes, it exists. There's a set symbol for it. Y'all can kiss my ass. It's been spoiled for a long time now. Anyway, the there are the characters that are from Forgotten Realms are the ones that have the dragon head with what is it, like
An
a hexagon?
octagon. It's an octagon. I think.
Octagon around
Wait,
it.
one, two. No, I think
Yeah.
it's like a hexagon. Yeah, it could be. I don't know.
Proserpia,
Whatever.
Naia, and Orok are all from the Forgotten Realms,
Hmm.
but the hexagon is that symbol that's going to be for the Dungeons and Dragons Magic the Gathering card set.
Hmm. I can't wait to
And
get that when it
then
comes out. By the way.
Desi symbol is from the Theros set, Born of the Gods. Wait, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
it's just Theros.
Yeah. It's
That one was just the Theros.
yeah. That's
The
just the
Born of
Theros.
Gods was the next one.
Yeah.
Um,
Hang on, what am I looking at again?
Oh, on the stream, each of the if you look in our chat, the frame, uh, with all of our characters in their little webcams, there's little symbols next to each of the characters that are little emblems that are representative of our realms.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
and then since there wasn't a set for Tainabu, it's a completely custom plane written up by Ganesh. I believe we said it was a mix of uh,
Thailand and Naboo.
Thailand
Yeah.
and Naboo, and it's essentially a grass type plane.
Yeah.
But since Magic Gathering has multiple sets out there that span practically the multiverse and everything, we decided to use the Modern Horizons 2 symbol for him. And for me,
It's a
you
custom made
can't tie
symbol.
Arden down to a single set, so you give me the Planeswalker symbol with Dungeons and Dragons main symbol as well.
So what
And
so
then
what
of
I
course the
did
Invonicus foil.
so what I did was I designed that symbol for Arden. Not just because it's Arden, but one, he's a planeswalker, and I wanted to make him a foil because all of us apparently are are mythic rares. So I put the mythic rare
Because
Dungeons
you're
and Dragon
legendary
logo.
creatures, you affect the story.
Yeah, and so but I also decided because Arden's the planeswalker to make his planeswalker emblem a foil. So
Yeah.
so yeah, it's a custom emblem for Arden. So
Honestly, I think we might turn that into the main emblem for if this ever gets turned into a card set.
oh, you mean the
the
custom
legacy,
our custom card set that I'm making? Yeah.
yeah, the legacy card set.
I can make that. I can make that happen once we get our art together. Yeah. Um.
And I'll have to go out of my way to make everyone's effects.
Yeah, fun finger guns. Anyways, um. So now that we're back, let me go back to where we last left off. Let's go ahead. Hey, Mr. Bard, cue that bar music.
Oh, bar music, you say? Okay.
Yes. Not bara, but bar. Okay. All right. So.
Oh shit, that's loud. One moment.
Yeah,
Okay.
you tell a bard not to get overexcited, playing, and Give them an inch, they take the whole arm. Anyways, or they break their legs. I don't know, you know. So,
Oh my god.
anyways, so yeah, so now we're at the week of that we played without you all here, um, and we got into an interesting situation, um, but I'm gonna go ahead and let Arden. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and mute my microphone because it's really important for Arden to take over this because this part was a big deal for for especially me because we met a certain crew in this, and I'm not going to say yet. But yeah, my babies were in this. But anyways, all right, the floor is yours, Arden.
All right. So the party decided to hang out together, and finally decide to actually be heroes for once, and go out and save citizens within the city. And as they were getting out, let me get them out here, because they should be able to see this, right? Oh. Stompy, Agnar, Trunk. Not Dovahkiin. Dovahkiin unfortunately did not make it to the final cut. Oh, alright. Let's start with the man, the myth, the legend, Stompy himself, along with his 4 companions. Hagnar. Oh. Come on. Freaking. Trunk. And Magrel. Whoop. Also known as the Kobold Wrecking Crew. And the first instance of these 4 little kobolds were running by with someone bound and gagged and tossing them into the drunk dragon and shouting to Dutch, the owner, "Boss, we got you another one!" And then running back into the city to continue to help. Desi had a chat with them. He found out that Hagnar is pretty rude and thought it accustomed to insult him back. But these 4, their adventures will be told at a different time and place, because they were created by Dyer primarily as backup characters.
Yeah, the Darkborne. Yes, by Darkborne.
Darkborne.
Just really quick, my baby is here. So the big one on screen is Stompy. He is 2 feet tall. The rest of the Kobold Wrecking Crew are 3 feet tall. Hagnar, we'll get into a little bit more about her, but yeah, this is Stompy's crew.
And Stompy is best Stompy. Stompy beats Stompy things. So, there's that. And then, during helping out, they get to see a little bit of what Seer and Arden managed to pull off. By the way, I should probably show their tokens now that we have them. Let's get over here. NPCs, Legacy. So, Seer, the elemental wild beast, who y'all have not seen yet. There we go. He's the shape changer on the Legacy. Followed with Ramses, who doesn't exactly have a token, but I'm using the Mere Superior token, Superior art for him. Anyone who wants to try their hand at making a Ramses, please note that the entire right arm and both his legs are gone and replaced with Kaladashian replacements. And then of course, me, which you can see me on screen already. Yeah. So, they see Seer pretty much being taller than most of the buildings, currently, like, breaking them open and pulling out people and pretty much setting them down on the ground to be grabbed by the Kobold Wrecking Crew, and or the Mir and Ramses. Ramses and Arden both together are also doing their best, performing breaking and enterings to save the people who've been warped by mana. Arden doing his best with what he has, Unfortunately, he doesn't have the ability of a healer, so he is an artificer, so he does what he can. And upon help from the team with Naia, Ganesh, and Desi, oh, sorry, not Naia, Proserpia, Naia and Orok were inside busy getting their brains together. Proserpia and Ganesh collectively save about 13 people. Desi, after he finally hawks up the magical hairball, because he decided that now's a good time to activate the divine sight that has been granted to him by being a Therosian. And oh boy, he did not have a good time staring at the abyss and having the abyss just go, sup. And from there, Naia Proserpia discussed with Arden, hey, anywhere else that could be saved? And Seer said there's something going on at a farm and something going on over the waterfront. Since he's bigger than most of the buildings, he could stare over them and keep track of what's going on, practically. And they decided to go to a farm, where they fought off undead, managed to save the capturees, one of whom escaped because he did not want to run into this particular team of heroes again. But that's a tale for another time. And on the way back and helping the rest of the people who were attacked, they saw exactly what Arden was capable of as being a planeswalker, and planeswalkers able to summon things from worlds that most planeswalkers are attuned to. And Arden, clearly having been attuned to Mirrodin, or Whitefur, as we know, New Phyrexia at this point, he brought in the Legacy. The Legacy started getting attacked by a Kraken, and he decided, no, how about you don't? And brought in this big monstrosity in to practically save the day, as far as keeping his ship from getting cracked open like a goose egg or chicken egg. Okay, thank you, Bards. Y'all can go now. Bye. All right.
Mhm.
So, and we left the party at that point, pretty much going back into the Drunk Dragon Inn because they did not want any part of this fight between this big thing and a Kraken. Suffice to say, the big thing won. And
So at this point, what
Yep.
we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and start with the backstory for Orok. So I'm going to go ahead and leave the floor to both you and Orok.
so, Orok,
Yeah, what's going on?
we're doing your backstory now.
Okay. Where do I start?
What was his life like before going to Baldur's Gate?
Well, wow, I was about to say Disdorius. Orc, mainly he's just looking for something to challenge him. That's been his life, is just looking for something to challenge him. Because and for a while he feels that he's not being challenged in Forgotten Realms. So he got to a point where he's just like, you know what? I need to go find something that will challenge me elsewhere. And that's where I believe, if I remember from what we were talking about, that's where he met Isilme, but it's not the Isilme on this plane. It's the one that he met on the other plane that he's actually from.
Okay, difference being timelines. Timelines are
Yeah, timeline wise.
Okay, so just curious, what's this other Isilme like?
Let's put it this way. Orok looking for combat. The other Sume being like our cinemate, jumping into combat when she thinks she's in the right.
So he killed her.
No!
Oh, okay.
She fought him. More than likely, both of them came up to a tie. Agreed to not fight at that moment. Continue fighting because strength recognizes strength. Blah 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 blah. And
Okay.
then made a mutual partnership to go and get themselves trained up to be better, so that and in
Oh
order
yeah,
to do that,
of course. I forgot that it was literally the same party. They just kind of switched.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
So the Stillmay from that timeline suggested to become mercenaries and pick up bounties. So they went to, and where do you go to pick up bounties? Well,
Baldur's Gate.
of course.
Yeah.
And the first bounty they picked up happened to be a bounty to go onto a ship, discover far lands, and have adventures. And that Isilme joined Orok, and they actually hopped onto the ship at the same time, rather than this timeline's Isilme having been assaulted by a drunk dwarf trying to get himself to a ship and hiding in the barrels.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where the differences in the timelines really mix up, because once Orok was on the ship, it was like, okay, are we waiting for one more person? Or he had a discussion with Arden that went something like, can you promise me a strong fight? Arden says he doesn't know. What do you consider a strong fight? Big creature, tough and broad. Okay, I can promise that, but you need to help me with something first. And that's when Orok agrees. And that timeline's version of Arden made the idea of, okay, after we get done, I'm gonna dump this really angry orc onto the plane of Ikoria. He can go and have fun murdering things there. But that's for other timeline Arden to worry about. My current Arden is more along the lines of, who the bloody hell is this orc? Okay, the dwarf became an orc. Roll with it. And has no idea about the promise. But
But
then,
he'll
of course,
figure that out soon.
but then while the Planeswalk was getting underway, Orok decided to go down into the stores to see what food was on board, found the alcohol, and drank all of the alcohol, having his timeline at that point completely matched Disdorius's. Waking up the next morning in a waking up post Planeswalk in a drunken stupor, and with a drunken Arden at the helm. bit more of a difference being Arden being drunk as hell, stumbling up and saying, "Okay, who drank the alcohol?" But at least that is as far as we got, and pretty much everything else was the same. Orok would have probably more, or at least we think it's the same, because Orok has the same memories as Distorius, just replacing replacing the dwarf with the orc in the memories.
Mm-hmm.
AKA, you still slept with the what was his name again?
With the
And
dwarf leader of the
Which is hilarious because that's like a Chihuahua, getting mounted by a Great Dane.
By a Rottweiler, yeah.
he was good for it. Bella Quark, Mr. Quark himself, the traitor, and his two guards, Sasha Hope and Obrog add-on.
Oh,
Apparently,
God, do we have to bring back up Sasha Hope?
Who everyone hates.
we do not like her.
Oh,
We really
no.
do not like her because, she was useless Hope. She was more like hopeless.
Hopeless, yes. Sasha Hopeless.
I repeat, Devil's Advocate, they were ambushed. You guys were not.
I
Yeah.
practically died. They did
You
not.
did the ambushing badly.
No, Naia did the ambushing badly. Naia decided,
How?
hey, I'm going to fire my laser.
This is true.
Fire in the laser.
Meanwhile, poor Desi didn't even get a chance to crouch.
Desi was like this.
I'm a light cleric. Fire's
yeah.
my fag.
So,
God.
and then of course, pretty much practically all of that was the same, including the parts where you constantly missed up until recently when you kicked butt with the ogres.
Yeah,
Just
nice for a change.
things are actually challenging for once.
I was
Things-
able to
no,
hit
hold on,
something.
hold on. Things weren't murdering us for a change.
I should still remind myself to throw some harder things. You guys are level 3 for goodness sakes.
Oh dear God! Don't remind him.
Don't go
No.
down that
No,
road.
don't remember.
go down
Please
that
don't
road.
remember that.
No, no, no. I don't think so.
How about no? How about let's say that we did
How about
and just
no?
don't.
Yeah, let's
So,
just
I
not.
mean,
so
you're
did
going
we?
to a mountain with literal. With
Oh no,
the
we're gonna
literal
have to. Yeah, we're gonna have to
elemental
deal with
plane of
shit.
air going through it. So
Yeah.
yeah,
So I got
kiss,
okay.
kiss my deific butt.
So I got a question for Arden.
Eep.
So are we done with sorry, not Disdorius, with Oric's backstory at this point?
Yeah.
Now, what is so just to remind everybody, so Oryx, so Orok right now, I was gonna say Oryx. Orok,
Wrong game.
yeah, I know, wrong game. So Oryx's motivation is basically big game hunting that Arden it has no way of knowing this promise. Oh, at least our Arden.
Yep.
Now,
Because alternate timelines are a bitch, even for planeswalkers.
speaking of alternate timelines, Arden, the person, is playing young Arden in another campaign.
Oh no.
And there is this, yes, I'm bringing it up. There
No,
is this
why?
one item that was told to us but that's if the players find it because Arden has hidden it from himself, locked it away from himself because he doesn't want to have to deal with the fuckery that is the sword of what the fuck. Arden, would you be so kind to explain to the audience how young Arden came about to having the sword of what the fuck?
The heck is the sword of what the fuck?
Oh. Did I save the
Pure-
thing? Sure, I
pure-
saved the thing.
Unadulterated madness is what it
All
is.
right. Now let's just put it in this terms. You get the sword and you hit a thing. Since Orok is the only one who hasn't gotten a teaser on this, Orok, give me a roll of dice of 1 to 550.
I'm not in roll 20.
Pick a number. You don't even have to roll for it. Just pick a number between 1 and 550.
100.
Oh, go. Sensible. Here we go. The caster teleports 25 feet to the left of their location, leaving a trail of fire from where their starting position to the ending position. That's a tame response of what this thing can do.
Oh, okay,
At the same
Okay.
I'm
time,
gonna
that
go
can
ahead.
yeet you off a cliff.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and just for the fun of it, because I know what this number does. Arden, would you please tell everyone what 420 does?
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Yes, please.
All right, everyone. If they roll 420, the answer is. Drumroll, drumroll, drumroll. I don't have a drumroll emote, so everyone just imagine drumroll as I said drumroll. Something smells peaceful here. You summon a cloud of monkey kush smoke covering 100 feet radius. Duration 1 hour per level. Victims will lose their thrill to fight and become very peacefully loving and dreaming. Only
Oh my god.
only a save versus poison will help, but it must be repeated every 10 minutes. AKA you get high.
Oh my god.
Literally, you become
Well-
high on Monkey Kush.
Well, Proserpia and Ganesh will be happy.
If you roll that. I repeat, this
Yeah.
is one of the tamer effects.
Yeah, there's 550. 550 different effects.
Individual.
I'm gonna
Individual.
assume that this reminds me of the Wabbajack from Elder Scrolls. It's
Yeah,
kind
pretty
of that
much.
kind
Oh my
of
god, yeah, that's a good point.
Wabbajack, but Wabbajack's tame.
Yeah, you do not know.
Correction.
Yeah.
Wabbajack's tame compared to this.
Yeah. So we can't tell you or the audience any more than what's going on because myself and Desi cannot be involved in anything because I have too much meta knowledge when it comes to this sword. So unfortunately, if the party were to find this, Desi cannot participate in the search.
So the reason why Arden got a hold of this is because in my younger campaign, young Arden decided to travel himself to the Forgotten Realms because he somehow magically got summons while on a different plane from somebody in Forgotten Realms who knew him. The hell! And that person who in story-wise was named currently is unnamed because they called for me from the ether and asked for my help to hunt down a high-powered mage, and then told the person who I was supposed to meet that I was a planeswalker for some reason, and that person blabbed to another person. This is a taboo, a really big one, and now I'm gonna probably have to shut all these people up at some point. I still have a job to do because that person who's hired me probably is giving me lots and lots of gold that I can use for research on Kaladesh. This is before the legacy was even a glint in my mind. This was before Arden even understood. It's been only about a year into his planeswalking travels across the multiverse, and he's still pretty fresh and new to everything that's going on. And since then, since joining the party of these idiots, he's managed to get annoyed by somebody who had to ask what type of roof was over the starting person's house, as if it mattered. Um, he met a druid who was a pretty fine person, and
We're
a
looking at you,
very zealot.
Thatch Roof.
Yeah, Thatch Roof. We don't call him anything other than Thatch Roof because that's what his name is now. Or at least
And-
as far as I care to know.
And we're not going to
And-
mention what the druid did. We're really not on this stream at all whatsoever.
No.
But it was definitely extremely taboo.
It was so bad I had to scratch out that part of my journal and forget that it ever happened.
Yeah.
But and I met a zealot paladin who prays to some god named Helm. This guy does this prayer every 5 seconds. It is honestly very grating. And I'm supposed to be traveling with these people trying to figure out what's going on with some sort of death fog cloud over this island of Cholt. Yes, we're playing Tomb of Annihilation, and this is a level 1 Arden. This is gonna go swimmingly. Well, level 2 now, I believe. Or did we hit level 3? I do not know. I might have to check. Whoop. I think we finally hit level 3 after the last dungeon. But inside said dungeon's where we got that sword. We ended up going to this fort that the guy Helm was supposed to be going to figure out what people's going on, and the DM gave us a longsword. I identified it. It is a longsword of practically infinite potential. And the descriptor literally says longsword of surging magic. Rare magical armor item requires one weapon, one hit to attack. If ranged, it summons ammunition, no ammunition needed. On a successful hit, roll on the wild magic search table. And the DM who was going through this has a wild magic search table that's 550, which is a lot bigger than the standard wild magic search table that's only 100 items. It's great.
Wait, hold on. But what people don't understand, what on top of the 550 options, there is one that if you roll on it, you have to also roll on the Wand of Wonder,
Oh yeah,
the Wand of
that
Wonder,
one exists
Wonder
there.
table.
And then there's also the one where you roll 3 times on the table.
Oh yeah,
There's
and
one
two
where you
times on the
roll
table.
twice. Yeah, you roll twice and the effects are doubled.
I'm sorry to break character for a moment, but I'm going to be heading out and heading over to Checkers to go pick up dinner.
Yeah, go
Have
ahead,
a
go ahead. It
good
was
time.
great having you on
Yeah.
stream. We're gonna go ahead and continue on with this discussion. And
Yeah, I
everyone,
just want to also point out that Desi and Arden, we need to talk after you're done with the live stream.
oh yeah, definitely, no problem.
So just let me know when you guys are done and we'll talk.
Yeah,
Okay, I'll talk to you guys later.
Bye.
Yeah, I think for now I'm going to head out as well. Just need to have something to eat and
and
that-
thank you so thank you
just
so
chill
much
out.
for being part of the stream as well.
Yeah,
See
well,
you
So
tomorrow.
we were glad to have both Naia and an Orok here. So starting tomorrow at at 7 p.m. I'm going to go ahead and put up the end card, and we'll go ahead and end it now. So I want to thank everyone for coming,
okey-doke.
and let me see here. Go ahead and all right. So we're gonna go ahead, and I want to thank everyone. And as you can see on the end card, which will be upgraded soon. But I'm gonna go ahead and say it this way, like we always do on this channel. Thank you so much for watching Darkborne Plus. Every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is Dungeons and Dumbasses: Flights of the Legacy, a D&D MTG crossover homebrew campaign. You can always catch us here doing that every Monday at 7 p.m. On Thursdays, the name's changing. You'll see the logo change later. But on Thursdays, we are now doing Divinity Original Cheese 2, where we go ahead and use all the cheese tactics that you can cheese this game on Thursdays at 7 p.m. So it's gonna be telekinesis, summoning, anything that we find out that is a cheese, we will do it in the game. And then on Saturdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is Random Gaming. I will go ahead and announce out there the game of the week, or I'll decide it on that day. But just know, Saturdays is Random Gaming. So once again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.